Hey Wargamers, it's Sir Steinilord, and today we're gonna have a look at the Russian IS-1 heavy tank. This bad boy was introduced by the Russians due to the appearance of the Tiger. So yeah, let's get on with it. The Russians tried to develop a new heavy tank with the mobility of the D-34 and with much heavier armor, and ended up producing prototypes of this one. And first of all, they started with a 76.2mm gun. Due to the appearance of the Tiger, they just had a desperate need to put bigger guns on their tanks, so they added the 85mm gun and started producing this one, of course, with a different turret, and the tank got a little bit bigger and the mobility was lost. So they only built 67 of these tanks with the 85mm gun, and when they produced this one, they also started producing one with the 122mm gun, which is basically known as the IS-2. You can see it here. It's just basically the same chassis, just with a different gun in the turret. So yeah. As I mentioned, 76 of this would be produced to enter service. And one thing notable about the IS-1 is this tank has a second name, and the second name, which is also known as Joseph Stalin. So you can imagine if a dictator, one of the powerful dictators of this time, gives this tank his name, it must be awesome. It's just simple as that. So let's take a look at the stats of this tank. Of course, 44 tons. It's really heavy due to the newer turret and the more heavier gun. And not very mobile. It's just 38 kilometers per hour. But yeah, it's a heavy tank. It doesn't really matter. 2 or 4 kmh don't make a really great difference. So yeah, don't care. The turret rotation speed at 14 degrees per second. It's quite okay. Could be better, but it's quite okay for this gun. And it's one of the first Russian heavy tanks, or I guess it's the only one. Let's check this out. That has 5 degrees of gun depression. As you can see, all the other tanks got 3 or 2 or 2. The only IS-4 gets 5 degrees of gun depression, which is kind of the best uh, stat that a Russian tank will get in terms of vertical guidance with -5 degrees. So it's pretty much easier to shoot over hills, down slopes, etc. Because the other Russians with 3 degrees, you'll get them in quite often in positions where you are meters away from your enemy and you simply can't shoot them because you're going up a slope or he's down a hill or something like that, and you have to expose your whole tank. This won't happen this often with the IS-1, but of course if you compare it to German tanks on this tier, they have -8 degrees. The Panther even got more. I guess, let's check it out, not that I do something wrong. Yeah, -8, -8. As you can see, the German guns are far better in terms of being capable to shoot at from all positions at the enemy. So yeah, keep that in mind for the IS-1 and don't engage downhill or when you're going up a slope and you know there's an enemy tank behind this little ridge or something like that. Don't engage first. Just wait for them to come. Yeah, the hull armor, 120 millimeters at the front. That's a beast stat on rank 3 vehicles, because if you see the Tiger has only 102 millimeters and the turret armor at the Tiger is 100 millimeters, which is the same on the IS-1, but the really big difference, as you can see, that the Tiger has flat surfaces. So if you shoot at the Tiger from the front, it won't bounce. When you're straight at him and he is not angled like this, it won't bounce. And the IS-1 is it's a bouncing machine. As you can see, the turret armor, 100 millimeters, it's completely round to the front, to the sides, and also the hull. If you check this out, from here to there, it's just a whole kind of auto bounce area. So how to take out this tank? Yeah, a thing you can do if you have a good crew in terms of aiming and stuff like that, and a good gun which will reliable shoot, then you can try to hit the gun mantlet right beneath the gun, and then it will bounce into the tank, because the roof of this tank, or this plate here, is only 20 millimeters thick, so you can pen him from the front if you're hitting right beneath the turret, which is also a thing I would recommend you to shoot at all tanks. This is just a massive weak point down there beneath the turret and up of the hull. Also, you can try to hit this little driver's hatch. It's not this this thing is not that well armored like the rest of the tank, but yeah, if you drive it correctly, do a little bit of sloping, a little bit of moving, you won't give the enemy the opportunity to aim correctly, then you are pretty much safe, and this tank can really take a beating. Of course, you can take this tank out like every other tank, one shot from the side into the engine compartment or down the turret where the ammunition is stored, of course, but if you use it properly, you will only face enemies head on or be in such a cover that only your turret sticks out. So it will be fine, and I'll showing you some games after it, and you will see this tank just eats up German shells in whole, and just nothing, really nothing happens. So pretty easy to drive, pretty fun to drive. Of course, just to watch out not to get flanked in this tank, but it's the same in every tank. So let's get up to the gun. As I mentioned earlier, it's an 85 millimeter cannon, just fitted on the tank to counter German threats like the Tiger. And the armor penetration is pretty good. It's 113 millimeters at 100 meters, and it still is 97 millimeters at 1000 meters. But if you fit different ammunition types on it, as you can see, it's 118 millimeters and it's 99 millimeters on 1000 meters. So you won't fight at this distances, and yeah, as far as you will shoot is about 700 meters in this game. And at 700 meters you can reliably ban a Tiger tank from the front if he's not angled his armor. Of course, if he's angled, you have to maneuver to get into a better position, because trading shots with a German gun is not really the best thing. Yeah, the reloading rate, due to my crew, as you can see, I have upgraded it to expert. I would recommend this to do this all of the time, and my tank loader has a total of 45 points in it, so the reloading rate is down to 8.6 seconds, which is pretty average, but yeah, it just works. So I think that's enough of this tank, and yeah, talked enough. Let's see this bad boy in action. Here we go. So we're on Ash River, of course, choosing the IS-1, and we get the northern spawn point. So let's head down to the valley, cause yeah, it's pretty easy to shoot enemies getting down to the valley on the other side. So let's see if we are lucky and can get 1 or 2 kills. One thing about this valley, the Russians tend to rush it and the Germans tend to camp it. And here we got our first enemy spotted. Of course there are some bots too heading down that way. And let's see, there is a tank, but out of sight, so let's kill some bots instead. Set him on fire. Bots don't use fire extinguishers, so every tank you set on fire is dead. And there is our first customer. Whoa, lucky shot. I must admit, that one was lucky. But yeah, he brought a Panzer 3M to the fight, which is, yeah, it's a good tank, but competing against this massive cannon of the heavy tank, he has no chance. Absolutely not. And missed that shot, tried to get it over the ridge, but yeah, and you can do this quite often in third person, but this time it just doesn't work, and this tank is already taken out. And as you can see, the Russians rush, so we won't get down into the valley with our heavy tank, because it takes like ages to get up there again. So we stay on the higher level and proceed to the center of the map, where we would be the best use for our tank. Of course there is another bot to take out. Set him on fire. Okay. So there is already another 3M in the middle, but he's gone out of cover with his gun in a different position, so we hit his turret traverse. So if this guy is repairing his tank, he will be out of the game for at least 2 or 3 minutes. So we have all the time in the world to just do other stuff. And there is a Ju-87 coming in very low and very slow, so maybe we can get a shot at him, but he's driving off. And there's the 3M again. He's got into cover, tries to repair. So let's hit his gun and his repair time has probably increased, probably not, but as I mentioned earlier, I have all the time in the world. Let's try to hit this Stuka dive bomber, but he is a little bit too fast for our turret. So move up over the bridge, and always if you're crossing the bridge, try to do it as quick as you can, because you're really exposed on this bridge and you can shot by everyone. And here's the 3M repairing just between his turret and his hull, and he's gone. Poor little guy. It always sucks when you're repairing and you know you're gonna be dead. But hey, that's part of the game. Happens to me as often as to any other player. So let's see if we can put some pressure on and advance a little bit. And there's a Stuk camping, also a bot, as you can see. But yeah, free XP, free credits, give me more of that. So now trying to cross the bridge, cause no enemy is in sight, and there's a tiger, but he's behind a rock, and there's someone coming, and here we go. Crossing an open field in front of Russian guns is never a good idea. And oh, here's a friend who has exactly the same idea, so well, thank you. 2 free kills. Really nice, really nice. And I think he has extinguished his fire, but second shot... Oh, there's the tiger, so I have to get into a little bit of cover, not standing at the open hole of the bridge. And what the hell is this guy doing? But yeah, if he's reversing 90 degrees sideways in front of you, you don't even need to aim, you just pull the trigger and see him go up in flames. That one was really a gift for me. So advancing, putting on more pressure on the enemy, because when they can't get out of their base, they can't get into proper positions where they can fight me effectively. Let's try to hit this one. Already too slow, the turret isn't fast enough, and he's got an LA5 on him, so I will leave him alone and try to deal with the Hetzer instead. Let's see if we can hit him. Nope. Reversing. Dodged a shot. Very nice. The Hetzer has gotten into cover, so I move up. As you noticed, I always move up from one cover to another cover. You just don't let them catch you on an open field. And there's a Jagdpanther and a 3M. Oh damn it, the Jagdpanther is the bigger problem. The 3M also is one, but yeah. I reverse with the rock between me and the Hetzer and put the next rock between me and the 3M. He comes around, I angle the armor. Yep, he won't be able to. Then I'll give him one for the way home. And there is another 3M in front of me, so I move back so that the only tank which can hit me is the 3M at this stage. And if the Jagdpanzer wants to shoot at me, he has to move out of his cover, exposing himself to my friends at the middle of the map. So yeah, and he's quite hot for me, so he always comes up, and the 3M just drives out, shoots at me and drives back. So I wait a few seconds for him to reload, and let's see if he comes out again. And there he is. Hello. So this bugger has been taken out, so engaging with the next tank. As you can see, always move your tank this way, that only 1 or 2 enemies can shoot at you from the front, and all others have to get out of their cover to engage with you. And that was the mistake of the Jagdpanzer. He just drove out trying to get me. And there's our little friend. who's tried to shoot us, so we'll get one into him, and he got finished off by our friend. So the next one will be the 3F, but he's got taken out by a friend, so there's a hetzer down there. And I think we're gonna get around the street, moving up quickly, as you can see, downwards with a little bit of starting help from the hill. You're pretty mobile in this tank too. Oh yeah, just respawned enemies, get another assist out of that, and there's an anti-air gun, which of course is absolutely no threat to us, so just kill him quickly and move on. As we can remember, there's still a hetzer at B9, so we're trying to get up to him, cause that's the only last tank that is able to take us out, so deal with the biggest threats first. But there's just the anti-air has just respawned, so give him a few seconds to lose his spawn protections, kill him and go on with it. So, as you have seen, this tank can take a beating if you use it correctly in terms of cover and fighting direction if you want. It's pretty much a beast, and it can be really frustrating to be in a German tank with this beast in front of you and you still just cannot penetrate him, because he is a little bit in cover and the things you can shoot at are very well armored and very well sloped, so you won't be effective at shooting these things. This match is pretty much over. We're just waiting for the last enemies. As you have seen in the statistics, there's only one guy left alive and he's got taken out by a friend. So the hostile team has lost his vehicles. As you can see, the cover over the chains is blown away at my tank, but the tank itself is still ready to go. Just that does not very Russian tank, because a Russian tank is strong tank. It's just an awesome machine. So this guy has obviously switched to an airplane, and so we can't get the cap down. But yeah, we're capping. He has no chance of winning this game whatsoever, because every one of us, or a lot of our team's players, has still airplanes left, and he won't be able to turn that. But it's just a little bit of waiting here. So I hope you have seen how to use the IS-1 correctly. Of course, we had no Tiger as an opponent in this game, so it would be a little bit harder to get a Tiger with this gun if he knows how to use his tank. Of course, every tank has its strong positions and every enemy tank has its weak points, so if you're able to know what this is going on, what the points are to shoot and something like that, you can be successful in most of the tanks. Of course, the majority of the team we have taken out was Panzer 3Ms, and they really have to maneuver to get to your side and hit you there and use the speed that they have, but they really tried to camp us down, and yeah, head on with an IS-1 in a medium tank is not the best idea. So we've unlocked a few new things, as you see, fire extinguisher and stuff like that, but we've done pretty well. As you can see, 4,000 points, 8 players taken out, 3 AI taken out. Really good. We did really well in this tank. So I hope you liked it. If you want more of them, give me a like, give me a comment, things like that. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, see you in the next game.